Today, we are going to go over why so many people lose trading. It's not about the strategy. It's more so emotions. Emotions are the only reason why people aren't profitable. The strategy is not the hardest part. The psychology behind actually trading is the hardest part about trading. And we're about to go over how to deal with that, how to help with that. How was I able to overcome that struggle and actually be disciplined when it comes to trading? So here we are. All right, so the first thing that will make you a profitable trader is literally knowing when to trade and when not to trade. There's a reason why I didn't trade on a day like today. And then there's a reason why I traded on a day like yesterday. We can clearly see the difference of what happened. But how can you tell what happens before it happened? How do we know on a day like yesterday that there was going to be a nice move in our favor, and then a day like today, it's just straight consolidation? Well, number one, we had a huge move to the downside pre-market because of news, which will most likely make the market kind of choppy and kind of slow. The next thing is just understanding price action. Right off the bat, you could tell that SPY was kind of slow and kind of steady. Like, it wasn't really doing anything. Slow to the downside. It was just slow. The momentum wasn't there. And that's going to come through screen time. The only way to really tell is just screen time. You could tell off the bat what kind of day it's going to be after the first 5 minutes, if it's slow and choppy and stuff like that. Yesterday, we literally had this nice move to the downside, bounced up, rejected a certain area, then we made a new low day. Like, that's the price action I want to see. This is just disgusting. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The same thing here. We had a nice move to the upside, came right back down, but then what happened? We just stayed just in this area. We bounced up, right back down. Like, if it just stays in this box right here the whole day, from literally right here to down there, right here, if it stays in this range, I'm not going to be able to trade it. So you could have played the breakout right there, but that's about it. If it's in this range, I'm not going to trade it. Same thing right here, right? I'm not going to trade anything in this range right here. But we played the breakout. We played the reversal breakout right there. Same thing for today. I literally can't trade anything unless it's able to break out this consolidation right here. So the only trade that you could have traded today, for me, would have been that upside move right there. And this helps me kind of filter out, staying patient, right? Days like yesterday where I made 110% will help you to stay patient on days like today. If I know what I could do on very nice price action days, why would I risk capital on days like today where the price action is so slow and stuff like that? I'll risk capital on days like yesterday because I know what happens on days like that, right? I'm not going to risk capital on days like today when I know that's not going to happen. So that's the other difference, just being able to tell the price action, be able to tell on days like yesterday, price action is very nice. Day like today, it's very choppy, very slow. If I'm able to make 50%, 60% on days like yesterday, why would I expect the same on a choppy and slow day like today? And why would I risk capital on a day like today when I can be patient because I know that better days are out there and I know what happens on better days? If there's not anything that you guys learned from my videos already, then let this be the first lesson that you learn. Risk management. A lot of people talk about risk management, but a lot of people don't apply it. That is literally the only reason why you really could fail at trading, is that risk management, and then just having a consistent win rate. You could have a 51% win rate and you'll still be profitable with a 1-to-1 risk to reward. If your strategy is a 51% win rate, you can be profitable with a 1-to-1 risk to reward. But the problem is, half the time you're probably not even trading the strategy that you set up for yourself, and you're probably chasing something. You see this nice move to the upside, so you probably chase calls at the high right here, and this starts going down, and then you take your loss, right? And then you're like, oh, it came up again. I'm just going to get calls again, and I'm just going to hold it all day. Next thing you know, it comes down, and now you're down 40%. It's literally following your strategy. That's the other big thing here, is just following that strategy. Your strategy is profitable, but you're not following it. Your risk management isn't following it. For example, if you get puts right here, let's say you think this is going to reject and you get puts right here, right? If you see this thing break out, why are you still holding? You're holding because you don't want to be wrong in the trade, and now you're holding it. You're like, oh, I'm just going to give it 20 more cents. You give it 20 more cents, and you're like, oh, this is rejected. I'm just going to give it a second. And then it keeps going up. And you're like, I'm just going to give it until it closes above 395. It closes above 395. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to wait till high day and see what happens at high day. Oh, it's starting to reject high day. This is looking good. If I average down here, it only needs to come back halfway for me to be profitable. I average down here. Next thing you know, it rips. You're like, you know what? This is rigged. I'm down 50%. I'm just going to wait. This is it. This is done. And then next thing you know, they're fully blown. Their portfolio is fully blown. Whereas someone that's following their plan, it's not that hard to follow something. Trading is only as hard as you make it. All they got to do, and it's very hard at first, emotionally when you're trading, but once you start to gain that discipline and once you're brought up on trading right, with someone like a mentor or something, someone that's teaching you the right way to do it, like, oh, listen, only use one contract at first. This will help you to alleviate those emotions when you're first starting the trading, and now you just can follow a strategy very well. Don't have your P&L on the screen or else you're going to start being emotional. Pointers and stuff like that will help you trade and help you succeed will be so beneficial, right? This is why I suggest, in my opinion, one contract when you're first starting out. Why are you trying to make as much money as possible? When you're starting out, you want to learn the strategy, take one contract and just learn the strategy. Practice that discipline. Practice getting out, getting in, at that strategy with just one contract. There's no point of adding emotions when you're first getting started. So only one contract. So if you're getting puts right here and then you see it closes above that level, you're out, right? That's your plan. Your plan was you thought it was going to reject in this area and then close above. You get out, right? So let's say you get out when it closed and this is your entry right there, right? In order for you to be profitable, right, you want a 1-to-1 ratio at least. There's your stop loss, right? A 1-to-1 risk to reward would be all the way down. And with options, you can kind of see where you're going to be wrong on the trade. So for example, let's say you get in at 2.2, right? So 2.2 a contract. This is where you entered at. I know a lot of people that also have the contracts charts up. Now, you kind of can make like a zone here, a prediction here. Your stop loss, 2.1. In order for you to have a profitable strategy, your risk reward 1-to-1 with a 51% win rate, 3.1 is at least that 1-to-1 risk to reward, right? So just planning this out, and I know that it might seem weird and stuff like that, but just having that plan will do so much more good than bad, right? Because if you have a plan and you're like, I got in at 2.2, this is my stop loss 2.1, because if it gets under this candle, look at the chart, right? If it gets under that candle, which is right here, you're probably wrong on the trade if it gets above that area, right? So if it gets above that area, you're probably wrong on the trade and it's probably not going to reject. So that's a very good stop loss right there. Having this plan right here would actually do more good because you have the plan, you have the blueprint. Okay, I entered at 2.2, 2.1, 2.3 is going to be my 1-to-1 risk to reward. Okay, so if it starts to get under this right here, that's when I get out. If you're not disciplined enough to get out on your own, having a contract chart of the contracts you're trading might actually help you to have that discipline. Now, obviously, you probably want to graduate out of that. If I'm getting puts right here and I see that it's kind of still holding up in that area and it's still strong above that 394.6, I'm probably going to get out way faster than it waiting for it to close because I can see that momentum coming in. But for someone that's not disciplined enough yet, looking at a contract chart might actually help you a lot more than you think. Let's go over another example of this, right? So if we have on the day, let's say we're playing puts right here in this area. So around 10:04. And this will also help you get like that confidence in order to take the trade in the first place. Because if oh, I'm just going to take this small loss and then this potentially could be, a 1-to-1 risk to reward or a 2-to-1 risk to reward, then you're probably going to be more confident in taking the trade as well. And it sounds crazy, but it actually might help a lot more than you think. So let's say you take puts right here. So it starts rejecting this area, Let's say you get filled at like right here, right? So let's say you get filled at 1.73. Let's just round it up, 1.75. This is where you get filled at. Your stop loss, see how price never went under, around this 1.6. So let's just keep it safe since it's 0 DTE. Let's say 1.5, right? Okay, we have the plan. The most we're going to take a loss on this is 155. Okay, now a 1-to-1 risk to reward is just 195. You take, a 1-to-1 risk to reward. You be prepared for this, right? A 2-to-1 risk to reward, 2.15, right? This is what I'm talking about. Setting your stop loss, just looking at the options chart, right, will help you a lot more than you really think. Let's say you were trying to play a bounce here at this level, 1025. 1025, right around this area. Let's say you get filled at, let's just keep it a little high, 147. Right? So we get filled at 147. Your stop loss, right around this area. So around 137. So let's say 135. Keep it tight. Because if it goes below that area, there's probably a good chance that you're wrong in the trade. So you get filled at 147, 135, right? A small loss. 159 is going to be your 1-to-1. Having this planned out is just super helpful. Because at first, the psychology of doing this will help. Now, when you get better and better at trading and more disciplined, then you don't need to do all this. But I think this will help you a lot more than you think. So if you guys enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments down below. And you guys have a good weekend. I'll see you guys Monday. Hey you, yes you. Listen, if you guys are not in my Discord chat room where I live trade every single morning, post all the zones, all the key levels, everything that I'm looking at for the day, post 3 to 5 lessons per week to teach you guys the exact strategy that I use that allows me to consistently bank on SPY every single day. That has helped thousands and thousands of students become profitable traders around the world. We got people in the UK, people in Canada, people in the United States. The best part is that you guys could join this chat room as well. All you guys have to do is click the link in the bio, or you guys can message me on Instagram if you guys have any questions. Pop it up right here, and I hope to see you guys in there. Peace.
Hey, yo, Rand, turn that up.